Good evening, and thanks for joining us for another episode of What's Your Story? Tonight we are sitting down with our newest employee, Marina Pamplona, who has been at the library for just about a month now, almost.
Just about, yeah.
Yes. So we're so happy that she's here with us and has decided to sit down in the hot seat so we can learn a little bit more about you. But first of all, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you for joining our library team.
Oh my
We're
goodness,
so
I'm
excited.
loving it.
Good. So we usually try to get to know you a little bit better here by asking you like where you grew up,
Okay.
where you went to school,
Okay.
those sorts of things. So if you
Perfect.
want to tell us where were you born?
Where was I born? All right. So I was actually born in Idaho.
Okay.
Twin Falls, Idaho, exactly. And I grew up there all 18 years of my childhood. After that, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do in college, so I actually joined the Navy. Yeah.
Wow.
So I spent 4 years in the Navy, just one term, but went to so many places. Started off in California, then we went across the sea all the way over to Japan. I spent about 3.5 years in Japan, visiting Guam, Australia, Singapore. We went to South Korea. We actually went to Hong Kong once too, which was awesome. And after that, I actually went down to Tampa, Florida, where I went to University of Tampa, graduated with my Bachelor's of Art for Museum Studies.
Yeah.
I went there with my husband. We actually got married down in Florida. 2019 is when we got married. We are Northerners by heart, so we did not want to stay in Florida. It was very hot.
Yeah.
So we actually came up here. He grew up in this area, and so we're loving it. We love Maine, and we just love the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of drove you to join the military? You were in Idaho and you said, was it an opportunity to explore or a job or?
It was a little bit of family.
Yeah.
So a lot of my family has been in the military.
Okay.
My great-grandfather, grandfather, both my grandfathers, and then my father was actually in the Navy. And so he was a little bit of a push to get into the Navy, but my grandfather was like, you should have gone Air Force. But yeah, I really liked my time in the Navy, and also it was a great stepping stone for me. It helped me out so much in life.
bet.
It was difficult, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie there, but
Yeah.
it helped me out so much.
Was it tough being a woman in the military?
A bit.
In the Navy,
yeah,
I
there's
guess?
a little bit of still struggle with the two genders and everything, and just it's an interesting experience to say the least. I think it helped me grow as a person as well.
Yeah.
Because there's just certain struggles that you don't normally have to deal with, and so it helped me out a lot.
Yeah. And what did you do when you were in the Navy? You weren't submarine. You
No.
were.
I was on an aircraft carrier.
Okay.
So I was on the USS Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
That can hold 6,000 people. Mind you, I grew up in a town of 3,000 people, so that's double the amount of people in my town. And there was tons of people to meet and tons of different cultures to learn about on that ship, and it was amazing. And all night long you would hear the planes landing overhead, so you never got a good night's sleep, but it was still a really cool experience, especially at night. The stars, oh my goodness. I could never imagine seeing that many again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you do? What was your typical day? You'd wake up.
I'd wake up, I would go in for muster, and then I'd sit on a computer for about 12 hours. And I would do cybersecurity. That was what I was doing towards the end. At first, it was mostly just computer fixing, but then I got to the cybersecurity side. Yeah.
Now, is that would that be the same as if you were working for a bank? Would that that kind of stuff, or?
Yeah, it could definitely correlate with each other.
Yeah.
I don't want to do IT anymore.
Yeah.
I appreciate the experience I got and how much computer skills I learned.
Yeah.
but it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now your husband he did the same.
He was in the Navy as
Same
well, but he was in the cryptology side, so
Okay.
he did a lot more secret stuff that,
That we cannot talk about.
yeah. But yeah, he did a lot of cryptology, so.
Wow. Wow. And so you both decided that you had had enough of that.
Yeah,
and,
we wanted to settle down. We wanted to, we were long distance, so that was really
Yeah.
hard on us. And we just wanted to settle down and start life and enjoy
Yeah.
being together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're glad that you settled up this way.
Yeah.
And so you know, coming from the South too, you know, the summer, spring, fall, beautiful here. Winter is still beautiful, although, you know, some days are not as beautiful,
It's an
but
acquired beauty.
yeah, it is. It's a very different, yeah. Season changes in Idaho?
Oh, yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, it was mostly winter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I thought it would be more that way than,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had lots of snow there. We'd go skiing and stuff. My brother still loves snowboarding,
Yeah.
and we'd always go up to the hills and just ride on snowmobiles or just on a sled.
yeah. So, so when you were on the Ronald Reagan, so you have a certain, you said muster. Like, what is that?
So muster is just where we check in for the day.
Okay.
Just so our boss, our chiefs, officers, know where we're at, what
Okay.
they need to tell us for the day, if there's any plans or just need to do stuff. That's just all going to happen at muster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And then you would be somewhere. Did you get to get off?
Yeah.
Off ship and explore, or?
Yeah, so about 6 months on ship, 6 months off ship. Usually those 6 months would be broken up into 3-month increments. And then we would be in Japan for most of that. But we would stop for about a week to sometimes 2 weeks at certain ports, like I said, Guam, Australia, and stuff like that, just so that we could adventure around. Sometimes it was only 3 days, but still, you got to make the most of it. And there
Yeah.
was so much cool things to see.
Do you have a favorite place that you like? You can't wait to go back there.
Guam.
Guam.
I loved Guam. I actually learned how to surf there. I mean, I drowned myself trying to learn how to surf, but it was so fun. It was so beautiful, and the people there are just so friendly and
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I think one of my nephews was there for a while.
Yeah.
Stationed there. He was in the army, and they were. He was spent, I think, 9 months,
Yeah.
maybe, and he said it was really
Gorgeous.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
like Hawaii, but like one of the non-touristy islands. Like
Okay.
very quiet,
Yeah.
very scenic, and just beautiful.
Huh. Oh, that's so good. And then when you went on to school, like did you know exactly what you know?
No, I switched my major about 3 or 4 times.
I think that's very typical. I think
Yeah.
that's very typical.
I think I started off as a pharmacist, but they didn't really have too many good programs. So I switched over to environmental science.
Yeah.
And then I think I switched over to one more thing for like maybe a month. And then I realized that like I really love museums and I want to teach people stuff. So I did museum studies, but senior year I took an education class and I almost stayed longer because I wanted to get a minor in education. But we had plans to move up north.
Okay.
So I just got my bachelor's, and hopefully one day I can get my educational bachelor's as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good, and it won't take that long. So yeah. And there's some programs right around here that you can. I think they have some accelerated programs right
Ooh,
at.
I'll have to check those out.
Yeah, University of Maine has a few, so that's good. And there's always library science,
Yes.
right, Mike? Down in Boston, yes. We talk a lot about Boston. When I went to school, it was I just went to school. I didn't get to explore at all. I just drove down, drove back, and so we're always talking about all these different places that I must try. I must go look at this, and I must go look at that. Anyway, the Boston Athenaeum, that's on the list. I think that must be something that we just need to take a whole bus and all go together. So anyway, so upstairs, you are, I love how you have just jumped right in. and you are so kind to whatever age is coming through the door.
Thank you.
Do you have some plans for yourself of like what you know, what you hope here?
I hope here.
Different things that you would like us to see us doing? So
Honestly, I really wanted to get into the program side of it. So we're
Okay.
still slowly branching out into the program side because of COVID and everything.
Yep,
And I
yep.
just can't wait to like jump in like head first and just like kind of add a little bit of my own flavor to the programs and maybe even start a new one. We're hoping maybe a STEM program soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, that would be great. Yes. Okay. Whatever you need to make that happen, let's do that. And and so animals. You worked a little bit in Tampa,
Yeah,
was it?
so Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens.
They have
okay.
a zoo there,
Yeah.
and I worked as an educational tour guide.
Ah.
So I got to go out there and hang out with giraffes and zebras and rhinos, and like I don't know how many times I got licked by a giraffe out there.
Oh my gosh. That must have been so much fun, though.
Oh, it was just before I left. They actually had a baby rhino that was born, and he was the cutest thing.
So when you're doing programs with little kids, I mean, that must be such an experience too, to show them, then see their faces light up. Do you have a story that you could tell us about, a day?
So I had just one family on there, and they had 2 little kids. And the little kids were just like popping questions out, just so many fun questions. And the parents were like, shh. And I'm like, no, this is fine. This is my job. This is why I'm here. I want to answer their questions. No matter how silly they seem, they are interested. And that's what's going to make this trip so much better.
Yeah.
And I love when kids ask questions because I want to pique their interest.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you have a script that you would go, or you just kind of, depending on the people and how that all worked?
So it kind of just depend. I had like a studied-ish script, just facts that I knew about the animals, but our animals weren't in a designated spot. So if they're doing something unique, or if they're just in a different location, I'm going to have to talk about them a little different. And also if people have certain questions, then I'm going to like kind of go a little bit more to answering that question than maybe some other facts that I might know. And then also just the people, if they're not interested in some of the things I'm saying and they just kind of want a quiet ride, then it's going to be a quiet ride. But if it's a bunch of kids asking questions about animals and why the zebra is rolling around in the dirt, I can let them know. I have answers for that.
Why is that?
They are dusting themselves. So they're going to cover themselves in dirt. They get a dust bath so that the flies and stuff don't irritate them.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And you see sometimes some of these bigger animals with birds on them.
Yes.
And the birds will be all over them, and they're eating bugs on those birds, on the bigger animal.
Yeah, so we had, they were like ox cranes or something. They're not, no, they weren't ox cranes. Oh my goodness, I think that's the native bird. We had a certain cattle bird that ran around in Florida. It's a white little crane looking thing. And they like to hang out near
like a nice long.
They like to hang out near our bigger animals because they kick up the bugs, and so they would hang out. Now it's not the same as out in the wild, but they still had that little bit of coexistence, even though they weren't naturally together.
Yeah. That is so cool. So when you're not here at the library, what are the things that you like to do off duty?
So me and my husband, we love video games. So we actually do video game a bit, but we also like doing tabletop role play like D&D. So we'll do that every once in a while. And then we also love to just do crafts at home. So he does a lot of paper craft. I do some crocheting and stuff. And then just hanging out with our cats or walking down to the beach. Like, we love animals. We love nature. So
How many cats?
we have 3 cats.
Cats.
Yes.
Mike, she has 3 cats.
Our oldest, he's actually my family cat. My parents couldn't take care of him. I got him in high school.
Oh, wow.
So he's 8 now, I believe. He's all black except a little white dot on his chest. His name is Bones because he's actually a rescue. He was skin and bones when we got him. Yes, very fat and happy now though.
Good, good.
The middle cat is tiny little baby thing. She's like 8 pounds. She's a tortoiseshell named Pumpkin. And then our youngest is Figaro. He has a white mustache. He's a tuxedo cat, and he is the chonkiest cat you'll ever meet. He's 16 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he is big for a normal cat, but he's also chonky.
Do they all get along?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Every once in a while they tussle a little too roughly, and so they might get a bit in a tough.
Yeah,
but.
yeah. They sleep with you guys?
Yes. The old man likes to lay in between our pillows, and so sometimes his paws will stretch out and hit you in the face, and he steals the bed, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I think sometimes that's where they want to be.
Yeah.
So I keep seeing these cartoons of, stop stealing all the cats, I'm cold, or, there'll just be these variations of.
Oh, they're great
of
snuggle buddies.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, and do you take time to read at all?
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, you must read so many books. And I say, actually, I don't. First of all, I'm the slowest reader out there. And I'm tired when I get home. So, but do you both, have times where you're
My husband, not
chilling?
as much. He likes to watch more like educational documentaries. So that takes up most of his time. So he'll usually be watching those, even if it's just in the background while he's doing something else. And then I like to spend just a little bit of time, not every day, but every once in a while, just to read like a book or listen to an audio book. Right now it's Harry Potter, but that's just because I never read it as a kid.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Are you listening or reading?
Listening for this one.
Oh, and which book are you?
I'm on the Prisoner of Azkaban right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it Jim Dale, I think, is the reader for those?
I'm not sure, honestly.
He's got like the best voice, and he
it's
does
very
all
nice.
these different voices. It's incredible. What a series.
It's a pretty good series, yeah.
Yeah. I used to have grandparents that would come in and thank me for introducing them to Harry Potter because it got a conversation going in the family with their grandchildren when there were times where there was nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I love that.
And then just starting that, just by that, reading the same book. But there's something about that series everybody.
Yeah, you can just kind of, there's a little bit of everything for someone, because there's old-timey stuff that people can enjoy, but there's also the new modern magic and stuff, and it's really interesting.
Right, right. So, so programming, I can't wait to see what you do. And when you're thinking about like a child that comes in and they really don't know what they want to read, like how do you take them through that? Give them like what you read as a child, or
I wasn't
sometimes hard, but you seem to have a real knack for it.
Thank you. I really just want to kind of connect with the child, kind of figure out what they like.
Yeah.
I didn't personally read too much as a child. I didn't start getting interested into books until like 4th grade. So I don't usually recommend books that I've read because there weren't too many. But I just try to figure out what they like. We kind of delve into that. Do you want to read dinosaurs today, or do you want a comedy? Are you interested in a picture book, or do you want more of a chapter book? And just go from there and see what they're interested in. And if they liked the book, then we'll dive into books that are similar. And if they didn't, well, we'll look again.
That's a great way to approach it.
Yeah.
I like that. As we get ready to wrap up our interview, we usually do like a quick answer round. Okay. Favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. By the way, beautiful outfit.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite flavor ice cream?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee. I think that we've heard that before. Yes. I love that one too. Do you have a favorite restaurant?
I don't know in this
Doesn't have
area.
to be. No, it doesn't have to be in this area.
Well, if it is in this area, I'll say Flo's Hot Dogs.
Okay.
I love Flo's.
Excellent. Is that in Portsmouth?
That is north of York.
North of York. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna
Route 1.
try that. Okay. Favorite thing to do when you're not at work?
Hang out with my husband.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a lot in common, so
Yeah.
it's fun just finding things to do with them.
That's a great answer. You've been to the Galapagos. You've been to, as you said, you've been to Japan, many places. Is there something on your list that in the next, say, 5 years you'd like to go explore a country or
I want to
in-
go back to Japan.
Okay.
I do, but I also want to go to Portugal. That's where my family's from. I'm actually
Okay.
second generation in the U.S.
Okay.
And I want to visit the Azore Islands off the coast of Portugal where my family grew up.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
So is there anybody still there?
Yeah, actually.
You have to do it then.
Yeah, my dad's cousin actually has a vineyard up there, and so he always says, like, come on, we'll host you. And so just got to find the time and money.
And so did he also say bring your library friends when
I'll
you
have to
want to
ask.
be there? Oh, that's so great. That's so great. Do you have a favorite cocktail?
I don't know. I guess a margarita.
Okay, margarita.
Yeah.
You like those? Salt? No salt?
Salt.
Salt. Okay. What about book?
My favorite book. The Edge Chronicles series.
Oh, yes, I like that one too.
Yes.
Movie?
Blood and Chocolate.
Okay.
It's an odd one about werewolves, but
Okay.
I
All
do
right.
enjoy it.
All right. And do you have a favorite library?
I guess my hometown library.
Okay.
I grew up right across the street from a library.
Yeah.
I could walk just 5 minutes to it, so
Yeah. Is there still anyone there that you?
yeah. My friend's mother actually works at that library,
Yeah.
and so she's been working there for a while now.
So did you tell her what you were doing?
I haven't told her
Oop,
yet.
well, guess what?
I need to get in contact with her so that I can get some ideas from her.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it definitely, when there's things going on across the country and you think, would that ever work here? And it probably would.
Gotta
right?
try.
So exactly, exactly. Well, we're so grateful that you have taken this job, and we are very much looking forward to seeing what you do. So, I hope you stick around for a while with us, and thanks for being our guest on tonight's show.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us tonight for another episode of What's Your Story, and hopefully we'll see you right back here next time.